Yeah. So y'all should know what time it is, man. Another great conversation, another great show for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Coming to y'all once again. It's opposite from knowing it's your boy JTL on this bitch.
Yo, 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 this your man HD. What up, what up?
All right, y'all. So we got a great listen and show for y'all tonight, but we need y'all to do us a favor. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like this. Make sure y'all do y'all comments at the end. Even while we talking, you comment whatever. Make sure you share this and make sure you definitely subscribe if this your first time listening to Opposite from the Norm. All right, so I'm gonna let my boy HD go ahead and get into his topic tonight. He got a serious one for y'all, and then we're gonna try to make some more lighter stuff, but we always gonna come with some real shit. You know what I'm saying? So tonight we're gonna come with some real shit. So I'm gonna let my boy HD go ahead and start it off.
I just wanted to touch on something that my partner and I talk about a lot, and it came to my mind today after reading some things about, Miss Breonna Taylor, who was wrongfully killed some months back, and it's been over 3 months. She was killed on March 13th. Um, she was 26 years old. Everybody who doesn't know about her story, please go out and read about her. Beautiful young black woman who was killed while she was just laying in her bed sleeping. All these white people and these house niggas try to say, we need to comply and we need to do this and that. But this young lady was in her bed sleeping. She didn't do anything or say anything wrong to anyone. She was minding her own business, sleep when everything happened. But anyway, so I was reading through some things today. The articles that I'm pulling these from, one is from the New York Times, the other is from what is this? The Louisville, Kentucky newspaper print. It's WLKY.com, and then I pulled something else from one of these little hip hop blogs. So what I wanted to touch on was, well, first and foremost, they fired one of the three officers that was involved in her shooting, which a firing, of course, we've talked about on other shows, doesn't really mean shit to me. Yes, I'm glad that this piece of shit cracker is fired, but he needs to be prosecuted, which is what this talk is about. There have been none of the three cops from that night have been prosecuted or sentenced or anything at all. And there was a photo this weekend that went out of the Kentucky Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, black man, if you want to call him black, that caused major headlines, you know, amongst, the hip hop world. Many people like Rihanna, Beyonce's mom, Tina Lawson, among others, have commented because he posted a picture from over the weekend. He got married. And of course, you can guess what color his wife is that he married.
Oh,
White woman, of course. And in this picture, he's skinning and grinning, got the biggest smile on his face. Because I guess he feels like, oh, I've arrived. I've married my white queen now.
welcome.
And his milk of magnesia queen. And, a lot of the people were upset, saying, oh, he can be over here skinning and grinning, doing his coon step, but he's not trying to acquit anybody. You know what I'm saying? And, a lot of people have been going in on him, saying, hey, you got time to get married and have this big celebration, but what about the justice for Breonna Taylor? And the thing that hit me was in the photo collage, of course, there's pictures of him and his little white devil. But there was one photo in the bottom right hand corner for anybody who has been seeing these photos going around. There's a picture of, I guess you could call all the guests or people that were at this wedding or ceremony. From what I can see, and I've zoomed in on this picture about 15 times today, Everybody in the background. I don't see not one person of color. Not one. Not one. I mean, if his parents are there, I don't see him. Because in this photo, I mean, there's a bunch of people in this photo, and all of them are white. And this struck me because it made me think. We're doing all this talk right now about the changes that need to be made. We need to get more black people in the Senate, more black people in Congress, more black people in positions of power. This handkerchief head ass nigga is the attorney general. That's a very, very, very prestigious high position to have. Kentucky attorney general, the state of Kentucky. This is what me and my partner JTL are talking about when we're so quick to say we need blacks in certain positions. But if these are the blacks that don't give a fuck about us, and if these are the blacks that will not do everything they can in their power to get justice for our people who are slaughtered and killed out here, it's doing us no good. And that just feeds into the narrative of the white people. Oh, why y'all crying? You got black people in positions of power, but yeah, you get this old house nigga right here. He's not doing our people any good because he doesn't give a fuck about our people. He's not one of us. He don't want to ride and die for us. He don't want fuck going the extra mile. He don't even want to do his fucking regular job. It's been 3 months since this young lady was murdered in her apartment while she was laying there sleeping. But he's over here partying with this devil that he married and all these people in the background in his pictures. He doesn't care about us. So what we need to think about is before we are such in a rush to say we need, oh, we just need to get black people. No, we need to get black people that care about us, that want to see us survive. Fuck saying we need black people that want to see us rise up and be rich and wealthy. We just need black people that care about our lives because obviously this house nigga doesn't give a fuck about black people, about Miss Breonna Taylor, or anything. That's why I wanted to talk about this tonight because we need to seriously think. We're trying to go in the right direction. We trying to, you know, uprise and tell them that we don't want to take this shit no more. And yes, we do need black people in the Senate. We do need people in the House of Congress. We do need more black lawyers, more black attorneys. We need more black mayors, governors, and people in positions. But we need the right black people in those positions, not people like this motherfucker. Go ahead. That's why that, and I'm sorry, that's why that bothered me so much to my core because I hear all the time, even you and I talking about getting blacks in position of power, but we need to get the right blacks because, yeah, let's say in 10 years from now, they put more blacks in the Senate, more blacks to sit on the House of Congress, more black mayors, more black governors. But are these black people going to be like Candace Owens? We're going to put a bunch of Candace Owens in the Senate, then we're going to go back another 100 years because motherfuckers like Candace Owens, if they get in that, to sit in this seat of power, they're not going to do nothing for us. They're not going to vouch for us. They're not going to fight for us. They're not going to even do the minimum things that they need to do for black people. So we need to get the right black people in these seats.
Uh-huh.
You can go ahead, man. I'm just too furious right now. I can't go anymore.
Motherfucker, you gonna have to go a little more. This your topic. Well, let me say to ask you this real quick. That's what you say you want to point out that nobody else pointed out is that it was just all white people there at his
No, no, no. That's not the point. I pointed that picture out because that lets you inside of a peek into him as a person. That right. People can say, "Oh, it's just a picture." No, 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 no. That represents that picture to me represents him and what's going on. And when we get people like Candace Owens in these certain positions of power, she's not in a position of power. Don't get me wrong. But him, he's an attorney general, and that's what they're gonna tell us. They're gonna say, "Why are you guys crying? You got some black mayors out there. You got some black uh, governors out there. You got black attorney generals, but they ain't the right ones. They don't represent us. They're not for us. They're for them." And that's still gonna keep having the same issue going over and over. It's not
No,
about
but
the
that's
picture.
that's
It's
what I was
about the
asking you.
people. It's about the people who, like him, who want to live and be white. They don't give a fuck about
Yeah, but
us.
hold on. That's what I was asking you. Is that the thing you was telling me earlier that you was gonna point out that nobody else was pointing out?
Yes, that's the thing
All right.
that
So
we're
this
getting black people. We have a few black people in positions of power, but they're not the right ones.
yeah, but
That's what no one is pointing out.
I was gonna add this to the conversation. What I was gonna say was another reason why it's important that we don't really pay attention to celebrities like that. It's because even though Beyonce, Rihanna, and Beyonce Mama said something, you gotta realize something. They're not gonna point nothing out like that because their fans, the majority of their fans are white. So you gotta think about it. Rihanna, Beyonce, they're not gonna point that shit out that, hey, this person with this white person that's getting married or is married and all these white people around, we have to be careful about that. They're not gonna point it out because you know how it is. They're the type of Negroes that would be apologetically black, not unapologetically, but unapologetically black,
Right.
because they will not point that out because all their records are sold to white people. Like I don't care how much black people love somebody. If you think about it, all the people that we celebrate are not the ones who sell millions and millions of records. It's rare. Like a Tupac, a Biggie, and a Wu Tang is rare. That's rare that we'll have somebody who sell records like MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice, and we still love them in the black community. That's rare.
Well, I know that maybe the celebrities aren't going to point it out. I just mean in general, as I read certain things, read
Yeah. No, I
articles,
agree
as
with
I
you.
read certain things, it's like we're all I'm hearing is put blacks. Yes, we know that. We definitely need, like I said, black lawyers and politicians and governors and mayors. But if we're putting just anybody, if it's just all we're saying is we just need a black face. No, we don't need a black face. We need the right black people in these positions to help us. Because that's what we need. We need help. Yes, we can go out, we can riot, we can go out in peaceful protest, but we need some things to change on the higher up if we're living in this country. If we're living in this United States of America country and this is where we're living at, we need some help from the higher up for these laws and these policies. And these laws and policies need to get changed and they need to be voted on. They don't just need to say, okay, so we want to pass this law or pass this policy. We need these things to be voted on and for them to pass. And in order to do that, we need to get the right black people in the positions of power. Not just any old black face, not just somebody to be like a figurehead. We need the right people that's gonna stand up for us, that really want us to live and survive.
I mean, yeah, and that's why I was bringing it up that the celebrities are not gonna point it out because they so worried about their money. Um, and also when we talk about, hold on now, it's they married to a white person. We got to question that, and then somebody will say, "Oh, what you trying to say? It's not like they not black no more. It's like historically, the black people have married white people, always be the race traders, and just like okay, they
What's
would
what's the what's that phrase that I love so much? How you gonna sleep white but talk
you
black in
go,
the morning? No,
I know
I'm not
how you
falling for
gonna
that.
talk
I'm
how
not
you
falling for
gonna
that.
talk black but sleep white.
Yeah, I'm not falling for that. You can sit there and say, "Oh, you can't help who you fall in love with." Bullshit.
You
And
can't
that's
if you
that's
love black too much. you love your people that much, you not gonna
Exactly.
do that. Not
Exactly.
gonna, and that's why, like we said with Bed Winch Owens, you can't respect somebody. Like I told my partner earlier, I watched peeked at a couple of interviews, and out of them, I seen two decent brothers that she interviewed, and she was saying in the last one I seen with the brother Hawk, I think Newsom, who's one of the leaders of the Black Lives Movement, Matter movement in South Bronx. He was talking to her, and then the thing came up about blackface, people wearing blackface. She says that didn't bother her. She doesn't care about that. She feels people need to worry about more than that. And it's like, hold on. The brother brought up something interesting. For the Jewish community, if you think that you're gonna be able to be dressing as Nazis and they're not gonna say nothing about it or do it as a whole Halloween costume thing, you sadly mistaken. They going off about they shit. They gonna protect their own. Then he said, okay, well, what if somebody raises a child to want to be a Nazi? And she like, ain't nobody doing that. Oh, you being extreme. We need to just change the subject. Nobody's doing that. That's what he missed on that part. I would have hit it with, oh, really, bitch? What about the fact? What about those neo Nazis that was out there in Virginia? Somebody parents raised them to love Hitler. Somebody parents did.
Does she not know that a lot of these people who are in these groups is passed down? So their parents were in the KKK or the neo Nazis, and they raised their kids up like that. And these kids are in college. There's so many people across the country that are white that are in college right now, freshmen all the way up to senior, that are Trump supporters, that support the neo Nazis, that support the white supremacists, that support the KKK. And once they finish college, where are they going to go? They're going to go get into positions of power. So the shit that she's saying is ignorant. And that goes into my topic. Just imagine if someone like Candace Owens was to be appointed the mayor or the governor of a certain state. Just imagine how fucked up that state would be, or if someone who thinks just like Candace Owens gets to be, a seat in Congress. Just imagine the type of shit that they'd be trying to do. So that's my point. You're gonna get someone like this motherfucker here, this Attorney General or Candace Owens in these seats of power. They're gonna do everything in their power to set black people backwards. That's my point. So our little conversations coincide with each other. Just imagine if oh my God, just imagine if Candace Owens won the presidency. Just imagine someone like Candace. We already got this orange faced motherfucker in the president chair. Just imagine if Candace Owens was to win right after him. Where would our country be going? Excuse me, not our country, their country, the country they stole. Because this they shit now that they stole. Just imagine what it would look like if Candace Owens was president.
And you know what? I want to read some on that. Since we're talking about Breonna Taylor got arrested, so and just like we spoke about the bullshit with the police and what you say, the Attorney General,
Mm-hmm.
that bullshit. Now check this out. Let me add this. I was looking this up real quick. When we talk about, I'm gonna just read a little insert from the description that they gave about the police report that was revealed on June 11th. Um, and I'm reading this from CBSNews.com, and it says, police. Wait, hold on. Let me go skip that. Hold on. Let me skip the intro. Okay. Police in Louisville, Kentucky, released a nearly blank incident report Wednesday from the night Breonna
Mm-hmm. I
fatally
remember seeing
shot.
that blank,
Yeah.
nearly blank police
Let
report.
me,
Just look
yeah,
at that.
yeah. Let me read it for the listeners. That she was shot in her own apartment by officers, despite the fact that a 26-year-old EMT was shot at least 8 times during a no-knock search. The report listed Taylor's injuries as none. Police also
Mm.
checked no next to the box that says forced entry on the form, but witnesses and crime scene photos show officers used a battering ram to force entry into the apartment while Taylor was asleep. Multiple attempts by CBS News to contact the department about the report were unsuccessful. So that
So they fucking
further,
lying.
yeah, that further shows the hypocrisy into the protect and serve narrative that they keep trying to put out there. So as
Mm-hmm.
much as people try to take up for the police and wonder why black people are so fed up with this bullshit is because of that right there. They lied on them. Now, somebody can try to say, oh, well, yeah, you know, they did fuck up and they trying to cover it up. And then they can try to play devil's advocate and say, no, let me play devil's advocate. They could say, oh, well, you know, that just happens. That don't necessarily mean it was a racial issue. All right. If it wasn't a racial issue having to do with the community, if it wasn't that they had this person locked up and they still did their job wrong and came in this community and did some bullshit, then explain to me how come if white people get killed more than us and disrespected by the police more than us, then why are we the only ones speaking up on it? This is another thing that people got to think about when it comes to our human rights. Like Brother Malcolm said, fuck civil rights, human rights. So when people try to justify it, that's just like that bitch said that your boy murder was justified. Rashard Brooks got arrested. So the mayor of Atlanta came out and said that shit was not justified because he had a non-lethal weapon. Well, they try to say less lethal now because the police done fucked around and killed people with tasers. But she said that he had a non-lethal weapon and that was no reason for them to shoot that man down in his back. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of what people try to size it up and skim it up to, for somebody who's the attorney general who's supposed to be doing a job and checking into it, should have checked into it. Because like my partner HD's just stated, yo, this happened over 3 months ago. So you can't how can you sit there and explain to me that he's not taking it of importance? So and then this is another thing. We get told to get over our past, get over the history, get over the pain and the hurt that we've been caused by this country. But then you mean to tell me you think because a black person got there that that's progress? This country is still fucked up and racist, and the system needs to be broken down.
But
That's what.
they tell us to get over the pain and whatever of slavery. What about the pain that we go through every day when we see Breonna Taylor get shot in her apartment? So when they tell us to get over the pain, we have pain every day. It may not that we don't walk outside and see a black man and a black woman hanging from trees everywhere, but we see video of Mr. Floyd being choked to death in front of our face. So we're just supposed to get over that pain. You know what I'm saying? We're just supposed to get over that. Not to mention these stories that are popping up now of in certain states, these young black men found hanging uh, from trees or whatever that they're hanging from, and oh, it's just suicide. Oh, it's just suicide. So all of a sudden, young black men are just going around hanging themselves just for no reason, right? We're supposed to believe that. So when they tell us to get over the
Like we talked about before.
when they tell us get over the pain, how can we when we go through
But,
pain every
but
fucking
this
day?
is the thing. The investigation, they chalking it up, saying that it was just suicide. But explain to me how, in public places like in California, one young brother that allegedly hung himself by City Hall, they ain't have no. There's no camera footage to show that he actually hung himself.
Right. There's nobody that saw it. He's just out there. Then nobody walked by,
In
nobody
broad
drive
daylight.
by, nothing.
In broad daylight.
Right. He just out
Come,
there.
come on,
Nobody saw it.
come on, come on. Like you boys said. Come on now, Chris.
Come
Come on,
on, Chris. Come on, Chris.
come on.
Come on, Chris.
Like be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just be fucking for real about it. And like I said, even though they call this dude out for partying and enjoying himself, they're not gonna call him out like HD did about what he's around that should concern us. You know what I'm saying?
That
And
picture let me know a lot. And you can say Whatever you want to. It's his wedding. His yeah. Whatever. Let's start using our brains. Let's start being real. Let's stop living in this fake fantasy world. Let's be real. This man doesn't give a fuck about black people. Period. Because if he did, he'd be going above and beyond, and it wouldn't take these people to be having an outrage for him to do something. It shouldn't take all that.
And
It shouldn't take all that.
you got to question that too on this level. All right, say if somebody wants to say it shouldn't just be black or white, he should care about the American people. Okay, she's an American citizen.
Right.
Foul shit happened to her, and he don't care. You got to question
And
him on that level too. If something happened to you and you was white or one of your white friends or family members, what he do? What he make sure to be on point for them? This is how you gotta. This is how you gotta look at that as well. As a good, upstanding citizen, her and her boyfriend. And this is how they gotta. This is how she gonna go out. This is how she gonna be disrespected. This is how you gonna honor her. You
and
not gonna
then
do something about it.
when we talk about that, Beyonce herself, according to this article, and I seen something about this also from from different outlets. She wrote a letter to this Attorney General Daniel Cameron. She wrote a letter to him and made three demands. She said criminal charges need to be brought against the officers. He needs to commit a transparent investigation, and the officers need to get prosecuted if there's subsequent evidence. This is something that she wrote to him earlier this month, and yet we're 3 months in and nothing's happening. Nothing. Nothing is happening. And as you said, that report that you just read about the cover up and they're lying, isn't that some evidence as to something went bad that night, something went wrong? All those lies from that report that they didn't kick the door in or use a battering ram, and they did.
And you got to think about
How,
this.
how, how is that not enough to go deeper into this investigation if you have that police report and it's all lies? So
And this
yes,
and that.
I can sit here and say he doesn't give a fuck if there's a police report with all lies on it and he's not doing nothing about it.
And think about this as well. If it wasn't an uproar about these things and us trying to be more socially active and aware in our communities, they would have tried to put that young lady's death on her boyfriend because they would have tried to write it up as it being his fault for opening fire on the police, and he would have got charged with her murder. I was speaking to somebody, and they were saying that they surprised, they wouldn't be surprised if that happened, that they would try to put the murder on him, which they've done before. The police has done this before. They've killed somebody and then blame it on the other person. And it was like, well, you should have been more careful. You shot that person dead. How you blame it on the other person? Because you was having a gun battle with them and then you killed somebody around them. Oh, well, it's their fault. No, God don't allow that. It's your fault. The blood, that person's blood is on your hands. And, but these are the things that the police get away with, right? And then what gets on my nerves, make me sick to my stomach, is when people try to say, "Oh, well, the police fuck up like that all the time. It don't have nothing to do with black or white." Well, listen, if white people going through that all the time too, and they ain't mad about it, that's they silly ass.
Exactly.
We can't,
Exactly.
we can't make like, and this is another thing people gotta be careful about. When they try to switch the narrative, right? They'll tell us not to make it racial, but they'll make it racial. You gotta think about when we talk about ourselves, right? And then they'll say something like that. Oh, well, it happen to white people all the time. Y'all don't say nothing about that. Them will be the same ones that if we say, oh, this is what's happening with us, and white people don't go through that, oh, why you making it racial? Y'all, you just did the same thing.
Now,
You
check this out.
too.
From what I was speaking of earlier, and I'll end it. I know we gotta get to your topic. From the WLKY, the chair and vice chair of Louisville's Metro Council's Government Oversight Committee plans Monday announced plans Monday to investigate decisions made by Mayor Greg Fisher and his administration leading up to and following the death of Breonna Taylor. Now, what's the key word in what I just read? The Oversight Committee. What is an oversight? Let's go to the dick. The act or duty of overseeing. The second one, an error or something forgotten through carelessness or haste. The oversight committee. So they got to go to the oversight committee on this. So what does that mean? There were some major oversights in handling the death of Miss Breonna Taylor. Point made right there. Now, that is, you know, a step in the right direction that the oversight committee is about to do an investigation. But once again, we got 3 months and you just read that report. That report is out there for people to read and look at. So if it's out there for you to read and look at and me to read and look at, then why the fuck are these people who are in the positions of power to do something not taking that and doing something about it? Why?
Because they cover stuff up for a few reasons, and you definitely can add it to them not showing that they fuck up, them not showing that they got racist people with them not trying to lose money, like shit like this. And what's so sad is that instead of you holding the officer accountable, you all put yourself in that situation that makes it an issue that people be like, well, we got to shut down the whole system. That's just like when they try to make it seem uh like I'll give you another good example. When they talk about black people saying they don't want to talk to the police, they don't want to be snitches, right? They scrutinize us for that. But what about when the police go by the blue wall, the blue shield, the code of silence? How you gonna sit here and tell me that y'all still allow this racist cracker shit in the system that's supposed to be protecting everybody of every race? That is systemically a issue. And either way, if you mean to tell me that you want black people to snitch, but the police don't uphold the law, so who's really breaking the law at the end of the day? Who's breaking the law the most? The police. They break the law the most. I don't care what nobody say. That's just like, right, if say, and I seen this, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday. Say if I want to run in a building real quick and I park up on the sidewalk, I'm breaking the law. But you'll see the police do it all the time. I remember it was a time where I almost had to go off on these motherfuckers because I'm driving down the street from coming from home. I mean, coming from work going home, and the police sitting there having a chit chat, and they blocking the road off. They in the middle of the road, car by car, having a conversation. I can't get around, and I blew my horn. So this punk ass motherfucker gonna turn around and say, "Go around." I'm like, "What the fuck I'm supposed to go at? You in the road." Drive over the grass. And the other officer was like, "No, don't worry about it. I'll go ahead. I'll move out the way." Instead of him saying, hey, Chuck, hold on. Don't do that. Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry. I'll move out the way. Hold him accountable right then and there. Don't just, I'll move out the way. I'm tired of that shit. We're tired of the good officer sitting there allowing the fucked up officer to do some bullshit to people in the community. We don't want to hear no more, oh, it's just some bad apples. We don't want to hear that shit no more. We don't want
Exactly,
to hear
because
that because they're protecting each other.
the so-called good apples don't step up and say anything. They don't step up and say, "Hey, y'all over there that's doing wrong, y'all need to stop." And then when that does happen, then what? They get fired.
Yep. And this is how I
When
see.
when there are a good few cops out there, if they want to step up and they want to say, "Hey, this person is doing something bad," then what's going to happen? Oh, you know what's going to happen? Christopher Dorner is what's going to happen. And
Mhm.
anybody who's listening to this who don't know, go look up the entire history of his story. Don't just go by if you click on something on YouTube and you hear some white people saying, "Oh, he's the scum of the earth." Find out what led up to all the things that he did. Find out why he did what he did before you go and judge that man.
Just like I feel like this. If even the good ones, uphold the bad ones like that, then guess what? They all bad. I don't care what you say. If they all doing this, upholding the bad ones, then I'm sure my boy HD agree with this. Then they all bad. They
Exactly.
didn't.
If you
They
sitting
let
there
those.
letting them do bad, you bad too. Period.
You let the whole bunch become bad and sour because you let them sit there and manifest. That's just how it is. Like if you buy a bag of apples and you don't get rid of the bad ones, all the apples go bad. We didn't seen it before. You don't sit there and just let the bad apples stay in the bag. You get rid of them. If you don't, they all become bad. Point
Right.
blank period. So, anything else you wanna touch on before we switch?
Nah, man, just I really pray for Breonna Taylor's family and friends, and I just hope and pray that one of these days something right happens. And go study, do your research on Miss Taylor. May she rest in peace, and hopefully some of these people in the positions of power will do something to bring justice to her family because we can't bring her back. That's the biggest thing. We can't bring her back. Her life is gone. We can never bring that young lady back who didn't deserve to die that night. But hopefully something good happens, for her family.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right. So y'all, do your research on it. You know what I'm saying? For the people who do care and are genuine, do your research on it and, send out some condolences and prayers to the family also, as well.
Right.
All right, so that's gonna be the first topic. This next one, I'm not gonna hold it going too long on the next topic, but I think it is something important that people have to pay attention to. Man, basically on this one, this is just to show y'all, man, that they don't care about us. Like Michael Jackson and partner said, God rest his soul. They don't really care about us because this next thing I'm gonna bring up for y'all is gonna have to do with the stimulus package, the so-called second stimulus package. Um, I watched this guy, and I'm gonna do my best to make sure I put in the link for you guys, so y'all can go check this guy too if you're concerned with your daily updates on the stimulus package coming out. Um, this gentleman talks about, he does a daily stimulus update, and I subscribe to him, so I'm gonna put the link in there for y'all to check him out because he's very informational. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to that. He's a accountant. So he was talking about how they're assessing the first stimulus package. They feel as though they want to see how things are progressing, and also how what the first stimulus package did is especially with people starting to kind of go back to work and businesses opening. Now, the issue with this is why it's stupid is because now you guys are going to start or already are start seeing that some businesses are going to close back down. So a lot of businesses are going to lose certain business because you got dumb idiots out here protesting wearing masks just to go in the establishment when you don't have to go in the restaurant to get your food because everybody does DoorDash and Uber Eats now. You don't have to go in Publix or Walmart to get your groceries because, like my partner does all the time, he'll go online and get his Walmart groceries delivered to the car. So you
That's
don't
right.
have to go in these places for the people that want to protest wearing masks. Just don't go to the establishment. Protest like that then. Don't buy no groceries no more. Don't buy no food no more. None of that. And just go ahead and start farming, bitch. Because people are trying. But like me and HD always talked about, it's going to have to go backwards because we were so stupid till a lot of countries started reopening before it was really ready, and we didn't really curb it like we're supposed to because these politicians don't give a fuck about y'all, and we try to tell you that already. And the reason why I say y'all, because me and HD already know that, so we're not included in that. Is
Definitely
y'all who
not.
think that they care about you because you're an American? You believe that bullshit if you fucking want to. That's your dumbasses. They don't care. They still get their checks. They ain't take no cuts or no furloughs to show that they with the people. In fact, these motherfuckers about to go on a vacation, from my understanding, for almost a month, 17 days or some shit like that coming up. So y'all need to pay attention to who y'all call y'all heroes and who y'all think is before y'all. So I had went to because the guy, and I'm sorry I keep saying guy because I forgot to put get his name. So I
Get that man name. Get that man
might
name.
matter of fact, yeah, let me do that real quick. I got the letter that he read for you guys to check out. So let me get his name first because that's that ain't good. That's not right to do it like that. So the guy name is, hold on, give me a second, y'all, because I put it's what's called
Now, while he's looking that up, I was looking at something here when you were speaking about the coronavirus. So I was reading on CNN that California and Florida, which is the state we're in, are taking different paths as cases are spiking. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis told the reporters that there's no going back to stricter measures. That's the governor of our state saying we're not going to go backwards, even though the numbers are spiking. This stupid motherfucker don't want to go back to shutting stuff down. The California governor, Gavin Newsom, hinted on Wednesday that he'll tighten restrictions, especially at beaches. So, I mean, looks like one state is doing things the smart way and the other state isn't. Unfortunately for us, that's where we live at.
And okay, so I didn't see the guy's name, but his YouTube page is Clear Value Tax. So if y'all want to be able to get daily updates about the stimulus check, go ahead and go to YouTube, Clear Value Tax, and check them out. Subscribe if you want to. I don't mind showing respect to other channels. So he talked about what was going on, and let me pull it up. So this is excuse me. This is brought to you by the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO.gov. Y'all can go check that out as well. I'm gonna put the link in the description. It talks about the economic effects of additional unemployment benefits of $600 per week. So it says at the request of Senator Grassley's staff, CBO has examined the economic effort effects. I'm sorry, y'all bear with me because this is going to be kind of lengthy. But the effect of extending the temporary increase of $600 a week and the benefit amount provided by unemployment programs under the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act. That increase in unemployment benefits is in place through July 31st, 2020. CBO estimates that extending that increase for 6 months through to January 31st, 2021, would have the following effects. Roughly five of every six recipients would receive benefits that exceeded the weekly amounts they could expect to earn from work during those 6 months. The amount on average that recipients spent on food, housing, and other goods and services would be closer to what they spent when employed than it would be if the increase in unemployment benefits was not extended. The nation's economic output would probably be greater in the second half of 2020 than it would be without the extension of the increase. In calendar year 2021, however, output would be lower than it would be without the extension. Employment would probably be lower in the second half of 2020 than it would be if the increase in unemployment benefits was not extended. In calendar year 2021, employment would be lower than it would be without the extension. Okay, so I'm trying to let me see. Okay, so this is the last part. The estimated effects on output and employment are the net results of two opposing factors: an extension of the additional benefits would boost the overall demand for goods and services, which would tend to increase output and employment. That extension would also weaken incentives to work as people compared the benefits available during unemployment to their potential earnings. Or those weakened incentives would in turn tend to decrease output and employment. In the second half of 2020, CBO estimates the signs of the effects would probably be opposite. Output would be greater and employment would be lower because workers employed as a result of the boost in demand would have higher average earnings and contribute more to output than the people who were not employed. Because of the extension's effect on work incentives would have had if they were employed. The following simplified illustration shows how output could increase while employment fell. As a result of the extension, the additional benefits a group of workers with average earnings became employed, and a group of twice as large whose earnings would have been less than half the average amount were not employed. So you see they're doing a lot of back and forth about what would be good, what would be bad for us. People are employed, people who's unemployed. And they feel as though I was trying to get to this last part that ended off for you guys. Discuss the direction effects of this employment benefit, but not many to those for the agency. I was trying to see the last part because they was also talking about. It was also somebody, one of the senators, who felt that people would not want to get back to work if they keep putting out this money, and that they also need to. That's why I want you guys to go to that clear value tax page because the gentleman that's on there, the Asian American gentleman that's on there, talked about the senator that was saying, and y'all please excuse me because I forgot the name of the senator of who he was saying, but they were saying that people should borrow money, dip into their savings, versus them to keep giving out these stimulus packages because they want to keep assessing how the first stimulus package is doing for people. But this is the issue. If we're still dealing with this virus, right? Then it would be an issue because it's going to further prolong a bad situation where we can no longer really go back to work safely. As my partner just stated, there's different states that's like, hold on, we need to pull back a little bit. We need to tighten up. Just like here in Florida, we're here in Florida, Clearwater and St. Petersburg, and it's kind of going backwards, like we spoke about before. It's stupid because now it's a requirement for you to wear a face mask here. It's mandated that you have to wear a face mask before you walk into an establishment. We should have been shut down for a month and try to be smart at what we're doing. And then this is another thing. I'm sure people seen this. If you haven't seen this, you can go look it on YouTube. You'll find it easy. Trump talks about us, or he wanted to slow down the testing because it's the possibility to keep bringing up bad numbers. That's the stupidest shit you can say, that you want to tell them to slow down on the testing. Why would you say that? Because you could be potentially harming people's lives that it could be saving. Why would you tell somebody to slow down? That shit is stupid. Just so you can look at the numbers. I'm sorry, boss, but you fucked up already. You have made this shit is his fault. Him and his cabinet. This is his fault because they chose otherwise. They chose to blame it on Democrats and say it was a hoax, and then it fucked up the country. This shit is worse than when Bush Jr. was in office after 9/11 and the recession hit. This is worse than the Great Depression. There has never been a time in this country where there has been 40 million unemployed Americans. This is the first time something like this has ever happened in this country. And guess who fault it is? Y'all great white hype. Y'all great
Bullshit.
white hope. This is his fault. 45. Y'all great white hope has fucked up and led y'all astray and fucked up your country. And this is the person as who y'all keep trying to kiss. He's fucking up y'all money. If all y'all worry about is the economy, well, guess what? He fucked that shit up for you. So y'all go ahead and be happy with what, like D.L. Hughley said, go ahead and be happy with the choice that you made.
Right.
So HD, you wanna add anything on to what I just said and read?
No, I just think that it's ridiculous with the numbers that you just showing out. I know that there's a lot that goes behind you know the government and when they have to make they have to have votes and things of that nature, but the numbers are there. Like people are struggling. I was reading some articles the other day how even the people's unemployed, forget the stimulus checks, some people's unemployment checks, some people are going 3 4 weeks without even getting one unemployment check. Those are people who have kids, who have families. So it's not just about people. Oh man, is this virus really here to stay? I mean, we have these scientists that are coming out who work for the CDC saying that it's not going to get any better, that more than likely, if they can come up with a vaccine, that it won't even be out until next year. And we're sitting here debating about whether or not they want to continue helping people, if they want to send out another stimulus check, if they want to keep extending, certain things for people who are unemployed. It's just ridiculous. Like you could just look at you can pull up one article and the answers are there. So like you said, starting at the top, him making all his jokes, calling it the Chinese flu and the Kung flu and all that. I mean, yeah, that's good to have some laughs and chuckles, but it's people out there with two, three, four kids, wives, husbands, maybe even some people who had to take in a niece and a nephew because the parents died or the parents in jail or the parents, whatever. So you have families out there who really need this help. Like, honestly, I have a job. So it's like, if nothing was to come my way, and it went to people who didn't have a job, then fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I give it to the people who need it, because there really are people out there who can't pay their rent and who can't go to the grocery store, and those are the people that are suffering while these motherfuckers are sitting over here in they fancy houses, driving their fancy cars. They chilling, they all right, but there's people out there who this pandemic is really fucking up and they need help, and it's not about these people are sorry as fuck and they need a handout. It's not in some people's hands if things get shut down or if they lose their job or cutbacks. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to get sued or whatever, but the company I work for, they sent out an email saying that no raises this year across the board. Nobody's getting a raise at all. You know what I'm saying? No matter how good you did this past year, no matter how above and beyond you went for your numbers, no raise,
Mhm.
because these companies are cutting back because they ain't making no money, especially when you have. I just so happen to work in the sales department. If sales are down because a lot of companies and businesses are closed, so the people who work out in the field who make sales and do that shit every day, they can't go out there and make no sales because these companies are closed or they don't got no money to purchase products. So yes, it's a lot of people are hurting. There are cutbacks. There are people who are cutting their staff. You know what I'm saying? On my job, you know, there was something that was going on a couple weeks back where there was a company who gets products from the company I work for, and they cut their whole staff in half from like 20 employees down to 10. So there are 10 people right there out of a job, just right there, 10 people who don't have a job. And how do we know how that's affecting those 10 people? They could be really fucked up. So this is a mess, man. It's really a mess.
And I mean, that's just irresponsible. Why would you tell somebody who's not working to take out a loan or dip into their savings? Like you, like it's
Exactly. They taking
like
out a loan that's putting them in bigger debt. Or as your homie said, debt. Putting them in bigger debt. Put them in the hole
that
even bigger.
and that's what I'm saying. This is what people have to think about. So when you say something like that, who are you only considering? You're only considering the big places. Like, of course, if you worth 10, $20 million, you can sustain. Of course,
Right.
if your company is worth $1 billion, you can sustain it. Of course that. But you're not gonna sit here and tell me people that say, let's just say the middle class income. All right, say if and this is what we know, middle class is messed up too. Partially their fault, partially the system's fault because you know, we got to force a habit of how we spend as people. So say they, and you already know how the middle class is. They might try to buy them a house that's going to take them 15 to 30 years or so. Then they might take a second mortgage so they can go ahead and put their kids through college or some shit like that, or finish off the last college kid going through college. So if they're still paying on their house or a second mortgage, they got all these bills. They trying to help their kid through school and all these type of things. You you gotta think normally they would say for the kid to go and the parent pay for it, right? So, but if these parents are still working, they're still not at the retirement age, guess what's going to happen? They're really fucked up right now. So they may not be getting any money. They even talked about on this channel, and you can, like I told y'all, clear value tax, my bad. On clear value tax, the gentleman was talking about how they was also saying that they don't think people who get retirement and SSI checks should get the stimulus checks, or they shouldn't have got the stimulus checks because they already get money. And then this gentleman broke it down. He had somebody else coming up who deals with SSI, you know, what I'm saying Social Security income and stuff like that, and how the elderly are still fucked up, and they're trying their best to go ahead and stay on budget, and they still fucked up. They're not able to go out and get help or go out there and work like that no more. You know what I'm saying? So and they've been struggling, so they kind of need the help too. So you got all these people that's in power that keep sitting around acting like it's okay. Like these motherfuckers finna go on vacation, dog. They finna go on vacation, so they can't be
Mm-hmm.
doing that bad. While everybody else out here is on fucking damn near permanent leave right now. So you mean to tell
Right.
me, oh no, we need to see how it is
They getting
before.
a break.
Yeah, so what you're thinking is we don't want people to become lazy. But motherfuckers can't go back to work. That's the biggest difference. So I don't see how you can still have that narrative in your mind when it's not safe for people to go back to work and places have to keep shutting down. How could you still have that shit in your mind? Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I see people just getting lazy and not wanting to work. But this is what people fail to realize. For all those people that still got money, if these people are fucked up and they can't spend no money, sooner or later you gonna go broke too. This is how you can tell people really didn't pay attention to economics if they even had it. Because I don't remember, I ain't have economics, and I think they took it out of Bogey when I got there, so I ain't have it in high school. But I still understand people. You have to care about people. You know what I'm saying? Your brother, your neighbor, that's what God always spoke and promoted in the word. And that's why I'm a spiritual person. And I thank God for that because I recognize my common man. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm just every time somebody, you got some change, big man. I'm not giving out change every time somebody asks me for some change. I'm not saying that. Because I'm not finna every time I ain't gonna lie. When I see that they hustling, I gotta be in the mood to give it to you. Like I told you before a while back. I remember one time, this dude had a sign up was like need gonna get beer. Why lie about it? I gave him $5. I was like, oh I'm gonna give you $5 for that. That's gangster right there. You keeping it G. He like shit. I ain't finna lie, bro. Trying to give me a drink. I gave him $5 instead of some pocket change or dog. I gave him five. So I'm not saying that I'm just gonna be giving handouts all the time. Like I got to be in a certain mood, or if I got some change or something. And really, I don't, everybody do cards nowadays, so I ain't gonna have change on me like that all the time anyway. But what I am saying is, you have to care about the people. You have people who have been ruined right now. This has happened before, and people didn't care because they was all right. Their family was all right. But let's put this into thought. If you think that the best way to be is a capitalist and not share with people. I ain't got to get handouts. I do my little donations just to get tax breaks and tax credits. Okay, that's fine. But God forbid if it gets to a place, everyone in this nation or in certain places where people are so fucked up, guess what they finna do? They finna go after the people who got it. And it's not gonna be just black people. It's not gonna just be well, like we said, we're trying to get away from black. It's not gonna be just melanated people. It's not gonna be just Hispanic people. It's gonna be everybody coming after your shit. If you think you're gonna be sitting around these rich neighborhoods and your house got like 6, 7 bedrooms and you got a Bentley and a Rolls Royce Wraith parked outside and a fucking Lambo and a boat in your boat yard in the back of your house, and then these motherfuckers not gonna come get you, everybody's coming for you. And this is what people gotta realize. You can't just fuck everybody and I'm good. The only way you can be like that is if everybody's doing good. Like Jay-Z, when he had a conscience and a soul back in the days on his first album, Reasonable Doubt, when he said, nobody will fall because we'll be each other's crutch. That's the mentality we have to have nowadays. The only way we're going to be good is if that person is good. If the weakest link is good, then there's no weak links on the chain if we make sure the whole chain is intact. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to keep that mind frame about this country. Until the day we do that, it's gonna always be a hellhole that looks cute. That's what you gotta realize. It's not a nice, yeah, I'm about to get a little graphic. It's not a nice vagina, it's a shithole. It's not gonna be good as y'all think. Like Biggie said, I read so two dicks and no bitch, find yourself in some serious shit. That's where we're gonna be at in this situation if we don't get this shit straight. You know what I'm saying? So that's why me and my partner, we always talk about, being smart, being independent, but still caring for our people and being as one, because this shit is not going to get better if we think we can keep being selfish. That's not how
Right.
God made it. We don't just survive on our own. Point blank. So, H, if you got anything you want to comment on before we go?
Nah, man. We just gotta do what we can, and we gotta try to think, like you said, for our fellow people. Sitting in the position we are in right now, we got a lot of bad people in those power positions, and we just gotta make some changes. Even if it doesn't happen in my lifetime or even my son's lifetime, we gotta start it now so the ripple effect will go down. So maybe when my grandkids are coming up, maybe there'll be some changes made, because there's definitely a lot of changes that need to be made for our black people to, to just survive. Fuck trying to just sit over here and say for us to prosper. Because, yeah, there are some of us that prosper, but just for us to fucking survive in this fucking country, we need some changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. All right, y'all. So, if y'all listen to this, hopefully y'all enjoy it. I'm going to repeat it again. Make sure you like, share, comment. This is your first time checking us out. Definitely make sure you subscribe. We're going to always come with some more shit. Hopefully y'all can stomach the real shit, because it's the best medicine is the truth.
That's
So,
right.
it's your boy JTL.
Man, HD, out of here.
All right, we signing out, y'all. I'll let you.